I
Hi,
will.
everybody. I'm Danny Rosenthal, and I'm the Director of Community and Partnerships at Enginehire. I'm super excited to have Beth Heyer on here today. She's the owner of Babysitting Connection, Pet Connection, and Beth Heyer Coaching at bethheyer.com. You may have seen a webinar that she has done before with us on how to use Enginehire better. And let me tell you a very quick anecdote about that is because she reached out to me and she was like, Danny, I think people are not using Enginehire as much as they should be. And she's like, we need to talk about this. And I was like, I would love for you to talk about this. And I'm not sure if everybody knows, probably based on the title of this webinar, but Beth is like a membership like guru. Um, Also, if you haven't ever, you should also listen to our How to Build a Care Agency podcast with Beth on it, where she's also fantastic there. You can find that on, if you ever go to enginehire.io, you can find all sorts of things on there. And always feel free to reach out to me directly. But now I will hand this over to Beth. Beth, again, thank you so much for joining. And sorry, if anybody has any questions, please throw them in the chat as we go. I love to see so many people's faces on here. It's amazing. So, yes, please take it away, Beth.
Hi. I'm not the best at all this presenting stuff. So I'm looking at, I see you guys over here on this screen and I see the chat. So if I keep looking over here, I'm going to talk about my presentation. So, thank you guys for joining. I am Beth Heyer. I own Babysitting Connection, and Pet Sitting Connection, and recently Beth Heyer, coaching, consulting. I don't know what we're calling it, bethheyer.com. I see a lot of familiar faces on here. I know I've talked to some of you and met some of you. I did basically this very similar presentation at APNA in October. So some of this may be a little bit of a repeat. We've got some updated info and data that actually just kind of continues to support my, I don't know the word, my goal to just convince everyone that monthly memberships are the way to go when it comes to babysitting agencies. So a little bit of history about me and Babysitting Connection. We just celebrated my dog's right here, this is a little snout. We just celebrated 5 years in January. And it is January, a couple weeks ago. I launched Babysitting Connection 6 weeks pre-COVID. From the beginning, I knew I wanted to strictly be a monthly membership babysitting agency. And we have really stuck to that. Our membership levels and pricings have changed a little bit, but honestly, not much has changed from the beginning. We do kind of what we call a consistent care program where we short-term match families if they need just kind of in-between help or summer help or help until their say child gets off a wait list. I am a mom to Grant, who is 10, and Evelyn, who is 8. I live in Austin, Texas, where we had a snow day this week. It was wild. And I have sitters in Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio. Austin is our main city. And then we also recently launched in Salt Lake City. My background is recruiting and training, which is really my passion. I love connecting people. I have an internal team of 7. We have about 300 babysitters on our team. About 200 of them are here in Austin. And then I have about 650 monthly members. I love talking about motherhood, being a female entrepreneur. And I also have, over the last 5 years, really, really grown to love working with Gen Z. The bulk of my team is between 18 and 28. And although there were hurdles in the beginning, I've really grown to love their approach to work and life. So I also love chatting about that. So today we are going to talk about the benefits of monthly memberships, how you set up memberships, thinking about pricing, what works best for your clients, the success that memberships have brought me, and then how to implement monthly memberships. Since I kind of started talking about this topic last summer, I've brought on quite a few coaching clients that I've been working with them as well on setting up their monthly memberships. And it's just been really fun to kind of continue to learn about it and different demographics and different companies. And We have a unlimited membership at Babysitting Connection, but I don't think nanny agencies need unlimited memberships. So kind of thinking about what your business already offers and how you can use monthly memberships to continue to satisfy your clients and continue to grow your business. So that's been really fun. All right. So you'll probably have a lot of questions. I will try to keep up in the chat over here. I see some questions already here. Just in general, jump in the chat. What are your thoughts on monthly memberships? Just initially, like what your gut tells you about them, or what your aversions to having them are. Can you tell me a little bit? Dump in the chat here if anybody has any thoughts or feelings. And I see the question up here about membership versus packages. I'm going to put a little note in front of me. I have a really great slide that will answer that question. What do we got here? What do we got here? Seems like a lot of work, not with Enginehire, not with Enginehire. We are so automated. We are very hands-off. I book about 1,000 to 1,400 sits a month, and I touch 5% of them. And if I had to do it all over, I would probably even set up my business a little differently from the beginning, and it would even be even more automated, where I would be very, very low touch. We try really hard to kind of bridge this gap between, I don't want to be the Uber of babysitting. I don't want to be I don't want to be care.com. So we've kind of really done a good job of bridging this gap where we offer kind of very automated, very technology driven support and bookings, while also being extremely accessible to our members and always being able to text us and having someone always be able to really answer them. So in terms of a lot of work, it's not. I mean, it's a job, but we're very automated. We've been doing monthly memberships since September, and includes lots of training courses for our nannies. That's amazing. I wish we could get a little bit more into training. My gut is they're the way to go, but scary. Yeah. I've wanted to do membership for years. My gut always tells me comes down to not wanting to nickel and dime my clients. That's interesting. I would love to hear more, Lydia. I guess what you're saying is you don't want to continually take money from them. I think the thought on that is like you're providing a valuable service, and my members can cancel at any time, right? So I have a lot of clients who maybe are only with me during the school year or only with me during the summer. We don't have any kind of long-term deals where you have to commit to a year. I mean, I have some people just sign up for a weekend with the monthly membership model. And I think the way we're priced, we have people come into town a lot for events and stuff, and we still put them on the membership model. Oh my gosh. And I'll just read a few more here, and then maybe at the end, Danny can help me answer some I haven't. Yeah, membership is a consistent revenue. Absolutely. My monthly memberships have been, my revenue has been extremely steady over the last 3 years. I fluctuate within couple $1,000s each month. It is very steady. I know every month I'm going to be able to pay my team. Yeah, if you own a nanny agency, how do you protect yourself from clients using the babysitting membership and trying to hire them full time? I think in that situation, you just transition them to nanny clients. And I think you have to price your babysitting membership appropriately, and set up your levels appropriately. So I'm working with, I don't know if she's in here right now, Laguna Sitters, who is a nanny agency, and we're being really conscious when we create her packages to not offer an unlimited package and not offer a package so big that it makes it try to make sense to have to utilize the membership to substitute a nanny. And also another thing to think about is I don't think monthly memberships at all take away from nannies, because most of my babysitters are part-time, they're sporadic. So the likelihood that one of my clients on their own could find a 30 or 40-hour week babysitter through my portal is very, very small. It's a very different client, or it's a very different candidate, a nanny versus a babysitter. So I think even your candidates, if someone wants to be a nanny, they're really going to focus on that, and maybe they pick up some date night sits. But I don't, and I also have agreements in place that they legally can't do that. And then also we'll talk about later too, I don't take a cut from my sitters. Um, so there's not a real perk for them to work around me. Membership's way to go. Profit margins, I could talk a little bit about that. Started last March. I love this. When I think membership, that means that them having access to my team. My members can only see specific sitters that are available for their specific needs, their specific ages, their specific locations. I don't have like it's not like a, what's the word, directory. You can't like log in and like see my sitters. No way, no way. The most sitters any family could probably see at any given time would be 4 or 5. Yeah. Worried about not being able to meet the needs of the family paying for the monthly membership. Yes. That is definitely a struggle. I had that conversation with, I had that conversation with you the other day. I was like, I had that conversation with Balanced Babysitting yesterday, the other day. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to be able to feel like you can fully staff your agency to meet your members' needs. And we've continued to grow our members. I was telling Balanced Babysitting the other day that Enginehire has this really amazing feature where you can literally plot all your sitters on a map and see where they're all located. So we use that a lot when we're hiring, to kind of look at the map and see where we're missing people. And we can also then layer that over our members and see where our members are versus see where our sitters are, and kind of hire accordingly. Do you employ your nannies? I'm not a nanny agency. I'm a babysitting agency. I don't have any nannies, and no, I do not employ them. They are not even 1099s. They are paid directly by the families. I will have about 25 sitters this year that will get 1099s through pet sitting and through working for babysitting connection events that have gone over that $600 threshold. I'm gonna, oh my gosh, okay, we got lots of questions. I'm gonna keep flipping through the presentation here. Hopefully that'll answer some questions, and then we'll be sure to save some time at the end. I'll check my watch here, and Danny can help me facilitate some of the questions here. So we already mentioned in the questions here, this creates reoccurring income in an industry that can have so many ups and downs, be seasonal. This really helps create a steady income. Do I lose members every month? Absolutely. Do I gain members every month? Absolutely. Like I said, my monthly revenue just fluctuates 10% every month, if that, because it is very, very consistent. We do typically lose people right as school ends, and we do pick up a little bit more. Then July, parents start to realize their kids are home all summer, so we pick up again then. So we do have some small fluctuations, but we stay within 10% of the same revenue every single month. These are the membership levels I offer. So I have a 3-sit-a-month package priced at about $35. I have a 10-sit-a-month package priced at $80. And then I have an unlimited package priced at $150. Like I said, if you're running a nanny agency, I wouldn't touch the unlimited. Maria Nella, who I'm working with, I think we're doing 2, 6, and 10 for hers. I think what she decided on for her level. So we don't have that unlimited level. And when it comes to your question that Balanced had about fulfilling their needs, this next slide here, these next couple slides, I'm going to show you where if you look at it and you say, I have 10 members a month that are on the 3 sits a month package, I need to be able to fill 30 sits. You don't. Your members are not going to max out their packages. And this is part of the reason why I'm such a fan of monthly memberships, but also why I hate to say this. This is so much like a gym membership, right? You're going to go to the gym next month. You're going to use that membership next month. It's the same with babysitting. You're going to go on that date night next month, right? Next month, you're going to be sure to take those 4 hours for yourself and go get your hair done and go get your nails done. And we know that parents just don't do that. They don't take the time to do it. Most families don't do that. So we are not maxing out our memberships by any means. And for those of you that are on the pay per booking membership, they might just book that once a month, that $20 sit or that $25 sit. And then, but they're not continuing to kind of book those additional sits. Our sits are 3-hour minimum. And this is just the monthly membership. This is what they pay Babysitting Connection. So our sits have to be 3 hours. All of our families pay our sitters directly. We have a set hourly rate. We just changed it a little bit in January. 1 and 2 kids is $20 an hour. 3 to 5 kids is $22 an hour. So our members pay the sitters directly based on how many hours they book with them. All of this money you're seeing, this membership levels, is what goes straight to Babysitting Connection. Are your months based off of the 30 days? We have a rolling 30-day billing cycle. So if you sign up on the 12th, your cycle runs the 12th through the 11th of every month. Enginehire has an amazing feature where all of our families above their booking calendar at any given time can see that they have 2 remaining credits, 1 remaining credit per billing cycle. Some agencies I know have talked about wanting to do it the 1st of every month. I'm sure Enginehire could facilitate that for you and prorate it. I'm not that good with money. Like, I like to get paid every day. If I got all my money on the 1st, I'd be broke by the 15th. I'd be on vacation the 1st week of every month. So I'm just not that good. So we work on a 30-day billing cycle. So on average, my members that are on the basic package, paying $34.99 a month, book 1 sit a month. Are there families that book 3 sits a month? Yes. I would say 50% of my families book 0 sits a month. They're just on that reoccurring monthly membership. They'll book that babysitter next month, or we're simply an emergency backup care for when school's closed or their nanny is sick. My 10 sit a month package, they're booking 6 sits per month. And then my unlimited package, they're booking 8 sits a month. So as you can see, my families are really not maxing out their packages. So I think when you're planning, Rebecca asked about, and thinking, oh my gosh, if I promise them 4 sits a month, I have to give them 4 sits a month, the likelihood that they're going to book that is very small. This is my income per sit in 2024 and 2023. So this is when you're thinking about, your bookings, your booking fees, right? I know a lot of you have booking fees that are over $22, they're $30 or $40. But we're booking 1,000 sits a month because we're just that scale at this point. So our income per sit is $22.73 in 2024. It's up about $1 from 2023. Is there a monthly minimum? Nope. You can upgrade, downgrade, or cancel at any time. We don't have a contract for how long our members need to stay with us. In a couple slides, I'm going to talk to you about how much money I make off each member on average. And I think that will also kind of sell the membership approach versus the package approach. Here's my stats, how many members I have. So as you can see, the bulk of my members are just that entry level. 609 members are with me at that $34.99 level, 63 at 10 sits a month, and then very few unlimited sitters. We don't, like I said, we don't do nannies, we don't do full-time care. Those 22 monthly members, those are like stay at homes or work at homes, and they have a sitter maybe 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and we work with them to get some consistent sitters. I don't pay the sitters at all. The sitters get paid hourly by my clients. My rates are set $20 for 1 or 2 kids, $22 for 3 to 5 kids. Do you send the same sitter to all the services or one package? No, I don't I don't book sitters at all. My members book their own sitters. I could talk about that in a few more minutes. Um, I, I, I am not, I am not a placement agency. I am a referral agency. So I am not hand picking sitters for families ever. My families pick their own sitters, or they go on a wait list and the sitters pick them. I am not matching families. I am not facilitating matches. I could talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit about kind of how babysitting connection is structured. We have an overage booking fee. I'm sorry, all these questions are coming in. If a member goes over their package, it's $15 per sit. Automatically charged for Enginehire. I don't touch it. If a 3-sit a member package books a 4th sit, they automatically get charged $15. They can go over their package as much as they want. All of my members also have an option to upgrade or downgrade their membership at any time on their own. The average lifetime spend on my members is $600. I think this is one of the biggest selling points for monthly members or monthly memberships versus pay per booking fees. I think if you look at your member, I mean, obviously everyone's going to grow out of us eventually, right? Everyone's kids are going to get bigger. We are constantly looking for new members because our members' children are growing up. So, I can do the math here, whatever 600 is divided by 349, or 34.99. So on average, my members are with me for about 17 months. We're filling that gap between when they're comfortable leaving their kiddo, or when they feel like their kiddo is a little bit older and they can trust the 16-year-old next door. So my average lifetime member is $600 per member. So I think this is what's important when it comes to thinking about those packages, is look at your members that are paying, say, $30 a booking. Over the lifetime with you, are they spending $600 with you? Because my guess is they're probably not. I would love to see the lifetime spend from an agency that does pay per bookings, but for me, this $600 just feels good. Feels good. So when it comes to setting your rates, I think a really easy way to transition from a pay per booking to a membership model is, they go from paying $30 per booking to saying, I'll give you 3 bookings for $45. When they are not going to max out on those bookings. They are not going to use them all every month on average. So that you're offering them a deal, you feel like you're offering them a deal, you feel like you're offering them a lower monthly rate. So I think that's a really easy way to transition clients from a current booking fee model to a monthly membership. When you're thinking about this and if it works for your business, take a look at your current number of bookings each month and expect that to increase as you continue to grow your members. If you currently have clients that have full-time nannies, this probably isn't going to be something where you're going to need an unlimited membership. I think it's a really easy sell to take your nanny clients and sell them the lowest level of membership for those date nights, for those extra days, for the days our nannies are on vacation. And also remembering that if you're going to get more bookings, you're going to have more sitters and you're going to have more support, but you're also going to have more automations. I would not jump into this until you have really everything streamlined within your software. Like I said, I have a client right now that I'm working, Laguna Sitters, and we're in the process of working with Enginehire and having calls with Kimber and really thinking about her templates and her tags and her statuses. And as the statuses change of her clients and as the statuses change of her members, really having everything automated so she doesn't have to type an email or really think about it. And even things like having Calendly set up so that way you're not trying to schedule interviews, just send them your link. So really thinking about different ways to automate your business and streamline your business as you get bigger. Again, we're highly automated with Enginehire. There's a lot of questions about my sitters. My sitters set their own availability. They say I'm available Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever time. My sitters also tell us what parts of town they're willing to sit in, what ages they're comfortable with, if they're comfortable with dogs, if they're comfortable with special needs, if they are COVID vaccinated. That is my sitter's responsibility. If my sitters want to get sits, that all needs to be set up. Their availability needs to be set up, and we require them to have only 10 hours of availability a month. 95% of my sits are picked up directly by the initial sitter that was requested it by the family. My families log in, they say, I'm in South Austin, I have a 2-year-old, I need a sitter Friday night from 5 to 9. They see the sitters that are available, they see their picture, they see their bio, they see their reviews left by my other families. They hand pick the sitter. 95% of those sits are picked up by the initial sitter. The other 5%, the sitter forgot they were going out of town for their grandma's birthday. They decline that sit. When a sit is declined, my members can either go in and pick another sitter or they can let it be. We have a wait list where any of our sitters at any time can go look at this wait list and pick up any sits they'd like. They can only see sits that match their criteria. If a family wants a COVID vaccinated sitter and they're not COVID vaccinated, they're not even going to see that sit. It's not even going to show up on their radar. So the touch that I have on sits is very, very minimal. Sits with newborns, sits with special needs, sits with, we have some kind of areas in Austin that are like 45 minutes away that we kind of struggle to get sitters to. Those sits might go to the wait list just because there's not someone to match their criteria. So we broadcast out those sits, simple couple clicks through Enginehire, get them set out to some sitters, encourage sitters to pick them up. Sometimes, depending on the sit, we might offer a $10 bonus if someone can take it. But very, very low touch on the sits. It is all just kind of churning in the back end on its own. This is our member growth. We had a really great first year. And then we've been really, really steady over the last couple of years, just consistent with our members. We don't take a cut from our sitters. So they don't have a reason to go behind our backs per se. My sitters are paid directly by the families. We also handle all of the cancellation fees. If a family cancels a sit, their card is automatically charged, and then the sitter is automatically paid via Stripe. The sitter doesn't have to go to the family and ask for the fee or anything uncomfortable like that. It is all automated. Everything through Stripe automatically happens. Members are committed. I don't know what that means. Members are committed to a set rate, having access to dozens, if not hundreds of sitters. Yeah. So my families know that maybe their dream sitter or their favorite sitter isn't available, but we're going to have someone else. They're all vetted. They're all background checked. They're all driving record checked. They're all CPR certified. We have reviews for nearly all of our sitters at this point from families. Families can look and know that they're getting a good sitter. You're not going to find a crummy review for a sitter on my page because I let them go. You're not going to be able to continue to work for us if you're not performing. And then just being a consistent member and, newsletters and touching base with them and having those same, babysitting connection sitters in there or with their babysitting connection shirts on really brings some brand loyalty. There's something else I was going to say about cancellation fees. All right. So what's next? Do your research. Think about if this is something you want to tackle. I want to be very clear, especially coming from a recruiting and training background. A nanny agency and a babysitting agency are two completely separate businesses. We just are kind of utilizing the same candidates. So, I'm not recruiting specifically for families. I'm not even talking to families, right? My families join, they provide their information. I don't talk to them. If they have questions for me, they can reach out and ask anyone on my team. We're very high touch with them in the beginning, providing them trainings and information on how to book sitters, providing our FAQs, providing our policies to them so they do know what they're kind of signing up for and what's going to come next and the steps to booking a sitter. Chat with your software company, chat with Enginehire. There are just truly an incredible amount of options that Enginehire provides that can just make this so easy and automated. There's even stuff now that I need to do my own Enginehire research and get some stuff set up where I know I could even be even more automated. What I want to happen, for example, is when sits go to my wait list, I want them to automatically rebroadcast out to the family's favorite sitters. That seems obvious. We just haven't set it up yet, right? My families can favorite sitters. This is one of my favorite features with Enginehire also. So we encourage all of our families to get to know 2 to 3 sitters over time. They can then favorite those sitters, and then they can go in and see those specific sitters' availability. So let's say they just want to go on a date night this month. They don't care whether it's Friday or Saturday or this week or next. They can see that Stacy's available next Friday. They can book her based on her availability. So that is a huge option that allows them to continue to have some consistency within their sitters. My families can also reach out to sitters and say, hey, it looks like you're only available till, a consistent sitter. Hey, it looks like you're only available till 9 on Friday. I really need someone to 11. Would you mind staying late? And they say, oh, yep, I'll go in and adjust my availability. So you can snag me for that. And then also work with me. You can go to BethHeyer.com and learn about me and kind of some of the services I offer. There is a real quick and easy link there to snag a 15-minute call with me if you just want to talk for a few minutes about what you're doing. And then I also will then follow up with you and say, hey, here's what I think I can provide. You can book an hour with me. You can work with me for 3 months. Whatever you want. I'm really flexible, and I just really am passionate about obviously monthly memberships and this industry, and would love to chat to all of you. I love learning more and more about the industry. All right, I'm going to work through these questions. I'm going to go backwards here. Gina, how accurate are my sitters' calendars? There, I'm going to move this over here so you guys can see my questions, and I'm going to move this over here, which feels weird, but now I feel like I keep looking over here at you guys. We do, this is one of the things that I think about often when I'm working with new clients is this availability thing, right? So my sitters do need to set their availability. They do need to keep it up to date. Like I said, my sitters are only rejecting about 5% of their sits. So in general, their availability is pretty accurate. The problem we run into is that a lot of our sitters are students. So their schedules change every semester. So at this point, we know that when the semester change is, and we stay on top of them to say, because it never fails. The first week of a semester, we have like very limited availability because the sitters haven't gone in and set up their new schedules. So we know by now that we need to kind of poke them and say, hey guys, once you get that new schedule for your semester, be sure to go in and update your availability. But there's only a limited number of sits on our wait list at any given time. So if a sitter wants to work, they need to set up their availability. And that's the expectation from day one with my team. And they just know that they need to do that. Again, Enginehire makes it super easy to set up your availability. You can go in and set up reoccurring availability where you say, this is my schedule for the week. These are the hours I want to work. And then they also make it really easy to say, hey, I'm going out of town this week, block, 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 block. It's not difficult. It should not take anyone more than 10 minutes to set up their availability. And they have free range. They can do it weekly. They can do it for a month. We encourage them to book out 6 weeks. We want our families to be able to book out about 6 weeks. And if they're only booking it week by week by week, they're also not going to get as many sits. But they have free reign to go in and update it as often as they like. All right, Danny's going to send a recording of this out. Do you handle processing the sitter fee for canceled sits through the agency? Yeah, it's all through Stripe. Family gets, so if a family cancels a sit with less than 24 hours, we charge them $50. We just recently started taking $5 of that. Sitter gets $45, we get $5 because we were dying on credit card processing fees. It's all automated. I don't touch anything. It all goes straight through Stripe and then right back out to Stripe to the sitter. Every sitter is required to be set up in Stripe. How do the sitters determine their service area? Is there a map function? Enginehire offers an option where sits can be sent out within a as the crow flies mile radius. If I had to do this all over, I'd probably do it that way. Mine is set up where I have like North Austin, South Austin, West Austin, East Austin, Round Rock, Georgetown, all these little neighborhoods. So each of my metroplexes might have a dozen. And then my sitters pick it based on that. And then they pick it. And you would be shocked at the amount of times a brand new sitter gets a sit in bee caves and says, well, I didn't know where it was. Well, Google Maps. So yeah, they pick their kind of location, part of town. Do you have sitters pulling out or no shows? I cannot tell you the last time I had a no show. 6 months ago. It is so rare, knock on wood. We do have, I don't know if I had to guess, at 1,000 sits a month, I'd say maybe we have 10 sits a week, 10 times a week, where a sitter reaches out and says, I picked up a sit for next Tuesday. My dentist can get me in. I got to get some work done. Is there any way we can find a sub? And so we handle those case by case. That's probably my highest touch thing that I'm doing is rebooking sitter sits. And we tell them you can only do that, 3 times. But very, very rarely do I have sitters calling out on short notice. It's I woke up with a fever. I woke up sick. We have some of that. We have again, I just found out my grandma's birthday party's in 2 weeks and I already booked a sit. Can I find a sub? My sitters cannot cancel their own sits. So we have to go in, and usually sometimes the sitters have a great relationship with the families and they'll say, hey, I already talked to the family. We're just going to cancel the sit and rebook for another time. Whatever. Or I already talked to the family. They want a sub. Can you unassign me so they have a sub? Sometimes it's us going to the families and saying, hey, really sorry, so-and-so has a problem. But those are usually a week out. But obviously we do have sitters sick. We have a real strict sick policy here. We don't watch sick kids, and I'm never going to send a sick sitter to a home. So those are kind of the biggest fires I put out is sick sitters, or they got a flat tire, that sort of thing. No. Are you paying for background checks and reference checks? I don't do reference checks. Appna will never take me. I don't do reference checks. It is what it is. Judge me. All my babysitters are required to have a valid driver's license and insurance. All of my sitters are required to be able to transport children as needed. My sitters pay for their initial background check. I believe it's $35 right now. After their 10th sit with me, I reimburse them in full for their background check. I rerun background checks every 2 years, and I will pay for it at 2 years. Does Enginehire help you set up, or did you do it alone? I joined Enginehire when they were just a cute little baby, and they helped me. Enginehire has gotten much, much bigger now. And Enginehire also has a lot more resources. So Enginehire did very much help me set it up from the beginning. Also, I think I was the first company in Enginehire history to have monthly membership. So it was a growth for all of us. They did help me set it up. Like I said, I'm currently working with Marianella from Laguna Beach or Laguna Sitters. And I know she, I don't know all the details of this, and Danny can maybe correct me, but I know she paid for the premium service where they're a little bit more hands-on with helping you set it up. I am pretty well versed in Enginehire at this point, that I could, I'm helping my clients set some things up on the back end that are a little bit smaller and easier to edit. And I know that Enginehire also has some incredible training resources on their website to help you kind of figure things out on your own as well. Have you grown your client list? Yeah, like I said, I've been really steady. I get new clients, and then old clients leave. So we do have a couple dozen new members each month, but then we also are losing them. So we've been pretty steady. Price package price for the package price is so I can feed my children. That's and feed and pay my team. So that's what the price package goes for. I think I answered that question. All right, let's go to the new questions down here. What's my best method for recruiting students? 5 years in, it's almost entirely referrals. We quit using Indeed about 2 years ago and have never looked back. Um, we offer really great referral bonuses to my sitters, 50 to 100 bucks, depending on the time of year. It is almost entirely word of mouth. And then we also are investing a bunch of money in Google Ads this year, specifically targeting areas for sitters. So that's where most of my team comes from. How important is the app for me? I just signed up to use the app with Enginehire. I'm excited about it. I've gone 5 years without it. I've been very anti-app. I don't want to be the Uber of babysitting. But I've talked with Enginehire enough about it and I'm sold on it and I think it'll be great. I don't know if you need it to start. I think it really just depends on your budget, but we are going to be launching the app this year. The sitters get paid directly by the families. Most of the time it's Venmo, Zelle. I'm not sure, cash, check, whatever. How do you protect your Stripe payments from fraud? We had a few situations where clients designated the chart. In my history of Stripe, 3.5, 4 years in, I've had maybe 8 disputed charges, and I've won probably 6 of them. They say they didn't know what they were signing up for. They didn't know it was monthly membership. I send Stripe the signed agreement that where the very first line of it says this is a monthly reoccurring membership, and they lose it every time. Very, very little am I ever disputing Stripe about charges. Do the families pay through Stripe? Nope. I'm sorry. The families pay their membership through a Stripe. The families pay rush fees and cancellation fees via Stripe. The families pay the sitter, however it's agreed on between the sitter and the member. How often do parents try to book child for a sick kid? Often. More often than I wish. This is a huge frustration for me. My sitters are empowered to say, I am not going to stay at this house with this child snotting all over me. And we will have their back every single time. If that kid has a fever, I'm gonna pull that sitter out of there as fast as I possibly can, because my sitters go to way too many families to risk spreading that to everybody else. I am firm on this. I don't even play the if they want to go, they can, or pay them a higher rate. Nope. My sitters do not have sick days. They don't have short-term, long-term disability. I'm not letting them get sick, and I'm not letting them get my whole rest of my team sick. We just went through a big bout of flu here a couple weeks ago, and there were, I think probably had 3 or 4 families within 1 week where I had to like message a mom and be like, it's not happening. Like it's my sitter's leaving. Like figure it out. Like we're not doing this. That child had a fever when she walked in the door. Here's our policy. I'm not doing it. Hand, foot, and mouth. My God, the amount of families that try to have sitters come with hand, foot, and mouth, like, nope. And I have policies in place for it, and they know it when they sign up. And I'm gonna go to bat for my sitters with that every time. Do you use your own branded app, or all your clients use the Enginehire? I am signed up for the branded app through Enginehire. Yes, I'm not there yet. It hasn't been built yet, but that's what I'm signed up for. Personally, my brand is too important. I worked too hard to build my brand. I'm gonna brand everything I possibly can. And I think in the beginning it wasn't branded. And I know there are some Enginehire competitors out there who are great in their own ways, but they don't offer a branded app. And that's a huge deal breaker for me. I don't want someone going to pair.com to book a babysitting.com or babysitting connection sitter. No way. My brand's too important to me. If I don't do reference checks, how do you know they have experience? We interview all of our sitters. We see their resumes. I am 5 years in, and not once have I wished that I've done a reference check. I come from an HR and training background, and it's just not me. I think it's so, and I know all about Scout, and I know how Scout works with the IPs and all of those things. And believe me, I've thought about it. For me, it has not bit me in the butt enough to spend money doing reference checks. And I mean, that's a personal preference. And like I said, APNA will never let me in, but, and again, most of our sitters at this point are coming from referrals. So we do reach out to the sitter who referred them and say, hey, this person applied. Do you think they should work for us? So, I mean, I guess that's a reference check, but that's only if they say they were referred by a sitter. You use the app. It's the best. That's so good to hear. You said every sitter is set up in Stripe. Why? Every sitter has to set up a Stripe account when they come in, because that's how they get their cancellation fees. So that's required. If they don't set up their Stripe, they're not going to get their cancellation fees. And then when I have sitters like work events for me, I pay them via Stripe also. Yes, a sick child is very frustrating. Makes me crazy. And like I'm a mom myself. Like believe me, I want to book a babysitter if my kids are sick too, but I'm not gonna do that. Do clients get charged when they sign up on Enginehire, or do you have to assign the client profile? Oh, I am so automated. No, I don't, I've never made an invoice in my life. I've never made an invoice. I've never, no. When they sign up with Babysitting Connection, they pay me $34.99, $79.99, $149.99, and it is automatically charged monthly. I don't charge any credit cards. It is all automated, reoccurring every 30 days. The only thing I do in Stripe is pull money out of it. Do you do this for families or corporate clients such as church? I do have about 10 churches that are with us. I don't love churches. Like I don't love them as clients. I think it's real at this point we have there's no way I can convince another sitter to wake up at 7:30 on a Sunday morning. Like we've maxed out our sitters that are interested in doing that. So we have like some Wednesday church sits. I have about 10. I don't pursue them. I don't actively seek out working with churches, but we do have about 10 that work for us. We have them pay $20 an hour, and some of them do 1099 our sitters. We make sure it is very clear from day one that the sitters know that that's how they're going to get paid, and it's usually direct deposit. So we do allow that for churches. We do some weddings, we do some events. It's not a big part of our business. How are we looking on time? Is there any questions I haven't answered? I think we're 5 minutes over. I love this industry. I love talking about it. You could tell from my personality. I'm gonna tell you what I think. So I'd love to chat with all of you and just possibly, talk about if we can work together to help build your membership. And I think I'd be great for all software clients, but I really love working with Enginehire clients because I am so well versed in Enginehire, and I've been sitting on meetings with Marianella and Kimber, and I think it's really helpful that I have been using it for so long and kind of know some of the tips and tricks and features to be able to kind of advise you on that way. And then also like I know the things that I don't need anymore, that I like I don't know if I had to do it again. I don't know if I'd have sitters set up availability. I don't know if I'd have sitters do the locations how I did. I don't know. I don't know. So it's been really fun kind of working with new clients and like talking through those things. So yeah. Let's see, we got a few more in here. As they sign up for your company. My families can upgrade, downgrade, cancel anytime they want their memberships. That is not manual. When I tell you we are so unmanual here. If a sitter is sick, I get involved. Is it legal to 1099 a babysitter? Are you talking about the churches? The churches are when they work at a church, they're basically like a nursery staff. And when I pay my sitters, they're like an event staff. I'm not paying my sitters to be nannies or babysitters. They're not household staff when they're being paid 1099 through a church, and they're not household staff when I'm paying them via 1099. When I mentioned earlier about 20 of my sitters will be 1099 this year, most of them are from pet sitting. I have a pet sitting business also, and that's structured completely different. That's structured where the families do pay us. So I can also kind of speak to that side of things too, because I've used Enginehire and Stripe for that as well. If you don't like the idea of a family paying a sitter directly, my pet sitting business, the family pays us, and then we send the portion to the sitter and we keep the portion. A sitter is not classified. Honestly, I don't know how a sitter is classified. But I know that I am fully legal. I have a great relationship with my lawyer. My agreement states that my members have is that they pay the sitters directly, and how they pay those sitters, it's from a legal standpoint, it's not my business. If a family wants to 1099 a sitter, that's between the sitter and the family. I'm in Texas. I've been working with Marianella in California, and California is also going to allow her to set up this the same way as well for sitters. I would talk to your lawyer. Whew. Need some water. Parched over here, guys.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Beth.
Yeah.
Um, I think I could see some people's faces as enamored as I know that mine was as you were going through all of this. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, Beth just threw in her website where you can go to contact her at www.bethheyer.com. That's hire, Heyer, just in case. Um,
Higher with an H.
and I will be building this into a very pretty web page. I'll be sending everybody that signed up for this, as I do every time, an email with the recording of this, so you can go to that page. That page will also have a link to go, so you can go talk to Beth. This might be one of those where you might need to rewatch here. I thank everybody so much for coming. Please, you can always reach out to me directly, Danny at enginehire.ca. If you have any questions, comments, ideas of what topics you'd like us to cover, or, to help assist you, anything like that. And I also just wanted to say that the Beth has been very instrumental in creating how the membership systems work. She's been very patient with Enginehire, very patient. And so she knows it in and out. That is very true. Yeah. So Beth, thank you so much for doing this with us. I personally appreciate it. I think everybody else here does too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Like I said, I love to chat. I love to talk about the industry. I love to learn about the industry. So head and snag a call with me, and I'd love to work with you guys.